Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, January 26, 2023. Stand up for your country. Most Americans don't pay too much attention to foreign news. As I've said, I get the Daily Chatter, which is our foreign news partner, every morning, and I look it over to see if there's stories overseas that might affect you and me. But most of them don't. They're domestic issues in South America, Africa, Asia, But Ukraine supersedes that. And the reason is that we taxpayers, we are funding Ukraine hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what it's going to really come down to in the end. It's how much money we're sending over there. It's a lot. And so Americans are interested in that. And they're interested in any kind of shooting war, of course. Putin invades Ukraine about a year ago in February. And, innocent people die. Putin's a war criminal, there's no doubt about it. The good news is that Putin is losing. And so a conflict between Ukraine and Russia, which might be regional, is not. It's international because of Putin, because he's such a villain. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. So we're sending 31 Abrams tanks over. They will not be operational until spring because it takes a while to train Ukrainians to use the tanks. And then Germany, we had a lean on them, and they're sending Leopards over. Poland will send old tanks in. So Ukraine will have enough hardware to defend itself against the predicted spring offensive by Russia. As I said yesterday, Russia's main force is mercenary now, the Wagner group, because the Russian army is so bad. And, those people can do some damage. So last night I was on News Nation. Always on Wednesday, you might make an appointment to see that. It's usually pretty edifying. And Sean Penn, my old pal, was the first guest because he's very deeply involved with Ukraine and Zelensky. So after Penn left, I came in, and here's what I said. Go. I want to just comment on Penn and Ukraine. You got to be careful about Ukraine. The United States, and this is one of the few policies that President Biden implemented that I think he did a good job on, was cautious in the beginning because we did not know if the Ukrainians were capable of fighting for their freedom. And so we couldn't send in heavy weapons right away. That would have been foolish. The end game in Ukraine is to destroy Putin, and he's well on the road to destruction. You don't want to overdo it so Putin becomes a sympathetic figure in his own country, Russia. Right now, he's a villain. So Biden has handled this pretty well. And Penn, who I've had my innings with, but one time Clint Eastwood told me that Penn is a good man. And that's a very high recommendation. But I think he's a little naive when it comes to global politics. And I urge both of you to be careful over in Ukraine and be cautious in your analysis. So Chris Cuomo is traveling over there shortly, and I guess Penn is going to go with him. And it is not a place that is hospitable, that's for sure. They should be okay if they stay around Kyiv, but I wouldn't be going east. Anything can happen. Anyway, the reason that I want you to understand the importance of this is that it's a global chess game. So Biden is a villain. I mean, everybody knows that, and people in his own country now know it. Not because the press, they don't have a press over there. I mean, they don't get anything like any kind of information flow at all unless they have a computer and they know how to do that. But there's no reporting on the Ukraine war that's accurate in Russia. But there's deprivation now. So the economy is bad. The ruble is bad. Anybody investing is getting their butt kicked. There are shortages of things. And then there's a draft. Putin's pulling young Russian men into the army who don't want to go there, don't want to be in the army, and disrupting their lives, their families' lives. So Putin right now is on the ropes. He's not, done, but if it continues this way, he will be. That's a huge victory for the world. And perhaps even more important, China is watching this. So if Putin were to skate into Ukraine and take it all over in 2 weeks, as he thought he might do, believe me, the Chinese would have been much more inclined to invade Taiwan. But now China's saying, not only will the Taiwanese people fight, they will fight, okay? But we're going to get sanctions, economic sanctions all over the place. Our economy is going to be wrecked. We already have this COVID disaster over there. And so it makes it much more difficult for the Chinese communists to invade Taiwan. And that's a huge thing, because if Taiwan gets invaded, no matter what they say on the talk shows and in the American media, it's a disaster for the USA. It's a disaster for us, because we're going to have to help Taiwan and then go up against China, maybe militarily in some aspects. It's possible. And the worldwide economy is wrecked if that happens. And we all will suffer. Now, most Americans have no idea of what's happening, and that's their fault. I mean, I do my best to keep you updated every day on the importance of this. You get rid of Putin, that settles things down in Russia. All right, yeah, maybe some other crazy guy would take over, but I doubt it. I mean, Russia's got to rebuild its economy now. And he is off the chart. So you don't have to worry about him doing anything in Belarus and Moldova. I mean, this guy is, I think, certifiable now. Putin destroyed his own legacy. He can't go anywhere. He's a pariah in the entire world. He's the richest man in the world. Putin's the richest man in the world because he takes a cut of every part of the Russian economy. Selling oil, Putin gets a cut. Selling arms, Putin gets a cut. That's how it works over there. You want to do business in Russia, you got to go through Putin's guys. All right? He's got all his money in Switzerland and other banks around the world. He can't spend it. You couldn't possibly spend as much money as he has. Now he can't go anywhere. He's not going to go to the G7. He's lost all legitimacy. He's a war criminal. He's Hitler light. All right? Now, why would you do that to yourself? What kind of rational human being would do that when you've got all the money in the world and all the power in the world? Why would you do this and kill babies and women and displace, millions of people? Why? For what? For what? Okay? I mean, if you look at it objectively and step back, the problem is Putin. He's the problem. And he's the one that's going to go down if we handle this right. Now, planes, no. America should not send fighter planes to Ukraine. And here's why. That would give the Ukrainians the ability to attack Russia itself, to bomb, to kill. That would anger the Russian people, who would then be more inclined to like Putin. Putin would become more sympathetic. If the war spreads into Russia, the Russian people are going to rally behind the leadership. Don't do it. That would be insane to do it. I don't think Biden's going to do it. Surely NATO understands that. So warplanes, no. But the tanks that the Ukrainians can use to defend themselves, when the Russians come in, yes, this is the time, not before. And then finally, I get mail all over the place. There is dissent from both the right and the left here. If you watch cable news, you hear it. But Congress is pretty much solid, both parties, behind getting Putin out of there. All right, so it's not a political controversy. This is individuals who, for one reason or another, don't want to back Ukraine and Zelensky. Is Zelensky a perfect guy? No. Is Ukraine corrupt? Yes. I mean, all of that is self-evident. But again, the ultimate goal is destroy Putin. And I think it may happen. That's the memo. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I want to tell you about Ghostbed. Ghostbed has been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades with more than 50,000 positive customer reviews. Wow. Ghostbed has luxury mattresses and premium sheets that get softer with every wash. Their mattresses have a cooling feature. Each is made with their signature Ghost Ice fabric, perfect for hot sleepers. Get fast and free shipping, plus a 101-night sleep trial with free returns. Trying their mattress is truly risk-free. So please go online, take their quiz to find out the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Get 30% off Ghostbed mattresses plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Use promo code BILL at ghostbed.com/bill to take advantage of this fabulous offer. That's ghostbed.com/bill, promo code BILL. Let's go to the mail. George, concierge member. Donald Trump has been unusually quiet lately. Thank you for noticing, George. So the left has decided they better go after DeSantis, of course. Any Republican running will get slimed and defamed. Wayne Rumble, Asheville, North Carolina. What good does it do to spend a fortune getting rid of Putin when he will be replaced by someone just as vicious? That's not the equation. It's possible, but he could get replaced by somebody just as vicious, but that you don't let war criminals go because somebody might be worse. This guy is a threat to the whole world, Putin. So that's not the equation. Rick, Killeen, Texas. Bill, I watched you on News Nation this evening. You put forth the best explanation about Biden I have ever heard. All I said was that I have Biden derangement syndrome, which we went over this week here on the No Spin News. And I said, and a lady called in and said, I don't really like Trump doing a lot of crazy things, but I wasn't paying $9 for a dozen eggs under Trump. And I said, not only that, but every single economic measure in this country is worse under Biden than Trump. Everyone. Unemployment's tied, okay? But as far as the consumer is concerned, we gave you the car stats, right? Everything is worse. So how can this guy run around saying he's doing a good job? But he does. Maria, I agree Chris Cuomo is different now that he's on News Nation. I'm not going to say I like him, but he does surprise me sometimes with his opinions, some of which I agree with. That never happened when he was on CNN. Mr. Owie, you must be rubbing off on him. It doesn't matter to me. I just want robust debate, and Cuomo's able to handle that. Where most of the other people that came out of his background cannot. They fall to pieces. Diane Braga, Mainville, Ohio. Recently, I shopped at Whole Foods. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get many discounts on food and other items in the store. That's because Amazon owns Whole Foods. And you're absolutely astute, Diane. If you go on a Whole Foods route, and you bring your phone in, they'll show you how you get these enormous discounts on food. Not every item, but a lot of items. So there's a synergy there. Thanks for the tip, by the way. Jan Pretty, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Check out the app ShopKick. One word, ShopKick. You scan products in various stores, receive kicks. You accumulate your kicks for gift cards. Okay. ShopKick, check it out. It's our job here, ShopKick. ShopKick. It's our job here to alert you to any way you can save money. Penelope Johnson, Ashland, Kentucky. Before January 1st, I ate sugary and junky food all the time. Then I started eating clean, cutting sugar, white bread, etc. I have lost 13 pounds. That's good in 26 days. 13 pounds. My skin looks better. My blood sugar dropped from 280 to less than 100. Wow. And my blood pressure is normal. Okay, Penelope, I'm glad you heard the Smart Life tips and I'm glad you took action. Melissa Cleese, Newark, Delaware. Great final thought today, Bill, regarding caring for your children after you die. I completely agree. So I don't get morbid about this, but again, I'll just reiterate, Marie Osmond and others, Gene Simmons from KISS, and there are a whole bunch of them, aren't leaving their kids anything. I think it's my obligation to protect my children even after I depart. And I'm going to leave them, some protection money, because we're living in a very, very complicated time now, and they need it. Everybody needs it. Money is protection from disease, from evil, from everything. And I think it's my duty to do it. So John and Sharon in Fantino at the Villages sent me a nice picture of the Stand Up for Your Country bumper sticker on their little golf cart or whatever they're riding in there on the Villages. I know we have a big audience down in Villages. And John and Sharon, I'm glad you're spreading the word. Stand up for your country. You're not actually standing up. You're sitting in a golf cart, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay. All right, let's go to the BillO'Reilly.com store and get the No Spin polos. These will sell out. I've just ordered 2. All right, 1 white and 1 navy. I got the No Spin logo going on there. And this is for spring and summer, or if you live in the South, you can wear them now. So these are great. We have up to XXXL, 3XL. So, if you're chubby, you can get them. But I want you to lose weight, so maybe you got one now, and in 6 months, when you're more svelte, you get another one. Word of the day, do not be meretricious, one of my favorite words. MERETRICIOUS, meretricious. Back with a final thought on a book recommendation. Got a lot of letters asking for book recommendations. I got one for you in a moment. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Okay, so final thought of the day. On Monday, I am going to tell you what the new Killing book is. We're writing it right now, Martin Dugard and myself. It will be out late September, early October. We got the cover, and Monday, I will tell you what it is. But in the meantime, a lot of people ask me, I can't read as much as I used to read because I'm involved with TV and radio and writing the book and assembling information and writing the columns and tweeting. It never ends. But before I go to bed, I try to read, 50 pages or so. So I'm reading right now The Devil's Ransom. All right. And you may have heard of the author, Brad Taylor. He's a lieutenant colonel, 21-year vet of the U.S. Army, and he's Special Forces. And the guy's been around. He knows all the intel stuff. So the book is basically, the reason I read this book in the first place, because there's a million thrillers out there, but it's centered in Afghanistan, the fall of Afghanistan, which fascinates me. And I only read fiction if I can learn something. I don't read, books that I'm not going to learn. And Taylor is good. Taylor gives you inside stuff that, I didn't know. And the tale is good. He moves it along, and then there's a hacking component to it, which is cyber war is going to be coming, So anyway, the book, is The Devil's Ransom. Now, I tried to I tried to read a bio of Napoleon. I couldn't get through it. And because I don't know much about old Nappy, and he's a colossus figure in history. And I wanted to try to tie him in to modern European, but I couldn't get through the book. It's about 900 pages long. I don't want to sabotage it, but when you guys write history out there, if you're watching or listening to the program tonight, if you're authors, you got to move it along. Unless you're writing for college professors. And this one, I did, it was, you hear your eyes getting heavy. I mean, the fastest read on the planet right now is Killing the Legends. I talked to a very famous broadcaster last night, and I'm not going to mention his name because it's a private conversation. He said he read it in one sitting. Couldn't put it down. That's the fastest read that you got. It goes boom. And that's what Dugard and I do. We just keep it moving at a lightning pace because we have to compete with streaming on Netflix. We've got to compete with what is now Special Forces Meet the Bachelor. I don't know. We got a lot of competition. So when you read the book and you pick up the book, you want it to move along. And that's why The Killing Books, 19 million copies of my books are print. More books than any other nonfiction author has ever sold. Boy, oh boy. The nuns, when I was doing a twist, would never have believed it. Never. All right. Thank you very much for watching and listening to No Spin News. I want you to have a good weekend. We will have a message of the day posted, of course, through the weekend. The message today is my appearance with Cuomo on News Nation last night. You want to check that out. It's fun. And then Sunday noon, there'll be a brand new column, okay? So we will see you again on Monday. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. Many timeshare owners are upset that their yearly dues continue to increase. And the annual fees never stop, even after you quit using the property. So if you are stuck in a timeshare, you're not alone. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and hundreds of 5-star testimonials, family-owned Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust, guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Lone Star Transfer's customer service is second to none. They will make your experience a pleasant one, done legally, ethically, and quickly. They have 15 years of experience in the timeshare disposal business and are here to help you. So start the new year off right with a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. 855-551-7066. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.